Gerald, thanks so much for taking a couple minutes. I appreciate it.
And I appreciate you,
I know
man.
you guys are busy between walkthroughs and practices and all that. You didn't practice on Wednesday, had a little bit of a groin issue. Are you okay?
I'm
You're going
good.
to be all right for the game?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna roll out Sunday. Gonna be a fun one with the guys, but just taking precautionary measures and just trying to be as fresh as I can and best I can be.
Yeah. How difficult is it? You're a veteran, you've been around this game for a long time now. How difficult is it to really stay healthy week in and week out considering the game you guys play?
Well, I think life is difficult, so I mean the game of football is gonna play the part, and you got guys flying around as fast as they can, and we lift and we're as fit as we can be. So, of course, trauma and chronic pain comes with it, but you just gotta do as best you can is to manage it and take care of it.
You know, Pete called the game last week, and we're not going to talk about that for very much, but he called the game last week against Green Bay kind of a reset, a new beginning. So I know you guys had to be disappointed in the outcome. What was it that kind of give us a sense for the offense of why it was so difficult to really get things rolling against those guys?
Well, it's tough to say. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts that go into each play, and one guy could lose his matchup, or one guy could not know his job, and that could break down the entire success of the play. So, I mean, you had a result of that. You had just a great Green Bay Packer defense. You had a lot of different factors that went into the result of the game, and it's just we got to be better on offense. We got to put up points, and we got to be there to match the defense's intensity.
All that said, you had a career day in at least the number of receptions. What was it about either the way the offense was working or what was called or what the defense was giving you that made it so good a day for you?
I'm not sure. Just the plays that were called is what we executed, what we attempted to execute, and Russell was flushed out a handful of times, and it's just I was one of the receivers that he just so happened to see while he was scrambling, and anything that was thrown my way, I try to take pride in myself to catch it if I can, and that's just what I did. So it came out to be a career day for me, but we didn't come away with the victory, which is the ultimate goal. So, I mean, career day really doesn't matter in my eyes, or 8 catches or whatever the yardage was. It really didn't make a difference to me if we didn't win.
Right. It seems like almost from day one, Gerald, that you and Russ have really gotten together, got a real great combination going. What do you attribute that to?
Just the chemistry, the determination, and the work ethic to want to be great and want to succeed in this league and in this organization. And Russ is a great quarterback, probably one of the best that I've had the opportunity to play with, and which is a leading factor for me to come over to Seattle. And I just want to take advantage of it, whether I'm here for short term or long term. I definitely want to just enjoy the experience and take pride in being the best that I can be.
You know this offense because you played in it for the most part with the Rams in LA. What is it that really makes this offense go? What when its offense is firing on all cylinders, what makes it go?
Well, the element of being unpredictable and possessing a lot of key players that can make plays and getting those players to make those plays really is what drives this offense and what makes it go, no matter what team you are or who you have on your team. I mean, if you don't get the ball to the guys that are doing what they're supposed to do or giving them opportunity, then it's not going to work and you're not going to move the ball. Defenses are going to key in on whoever is known, whoever is the most effective on the field, the most efficient, and that's just their job to do. So coming out, that's what we try to do each and every game.
It's obvious to me the Seahawks defense didn't key in on you very well a couple of 3 years ago because you caught passes for over 130 yards against this team. Do you remember that day?
I do. It's kind of odd, honestly, because when we came here to play, I remember riding downtown past the lake, heading to Lumen Field, back then Lumen Field, or back then Century Link, and I remember just talking to my teammates like, man, Seattle is not a bad place. I can see myself playing here, and that's just what happened. So it was kind
But
of.
before that, you had a big day against the Seahawks. I'm guaranteeing you they're happy that you decided to make the decision to come here. Did Bobby or anybody after you got here mention that game to you?
No, I don't think Bobby will ever mention that game. Him or KJ Wright for that matter. But no, those are some great guys and great competitors for the years and since they've been in the league, and I've been in the league half the time that they have, and just going against them has definitely been a blessing, and I've enjoyed every year.
Gerald, you've been a heck of a football player, along with being a great person in the community for all these years in football. I think people would find it interesting that you did not play football until your senior year in high school. You were a basketball player. What was it that brought you around to football? And would you do it over again the same way?
I would honestly. I mean, I changed one thing in my path, and it might lead me to another destination in life, and whether that be high or low. But just growing up playing football in a park and recreation in the community since a young age. I mean, I've always took pride in it, but I was more one of the undersized players, so a lot of the favoritism didn't go my way. A lot of the politics didn't go my way, and until I got to high school and was awarded another opportunity to start over at another high school. And before that, I was playing basketball and running track and playing baseball, and I just wanted to get a scholarship. So my senior year is when I made the transition to another school and try to, see what will happen, I guess. And a lot of other doors open for me at that point.
And some of that same thing happened then when you were in college, because you went from a couple of different places, ended up at South Alabama.
Right.
Ended up having a couple of great seasons there, and as I remember, the only player ever drafted out of South Alabama. So
That's right.
When you go back and talk to some of those kids,
Yeah.
if you have that opportunity, what do you tell them about that journey?
That everybody's journey is not going to be the same. Yeah, some kids grow up wanting to go to those Power 5, SEC, ACC, Pac-12, those Big Ten conference schools, and just thinking that it'll promise them a spot or an opportunity to go to the combine. And that's not really how it goes. Really, you just have to find your craft and work at it, and just hope that you'll get an opportunity to showcase it on Saturdays in college, as we all know. And then, you win games, it's more people that's watching. So over time, scouts will find you if you put the work in, and that's just how it went for me.
I read that you said at one point, talking about football, you said, "I've learned that I'm tougher than I thought I was. I learned that I'm very competitive." And football gave you the chance to show all that. And you also said you promised your mom you'd get your degree, and you did. How important was that to you?
It was huge. It was huge, especially from my family. We didn't have a lot of college graduates. It's easy to go to college. It's easy to get a high school diploma, but to actually enroll and to graduate and finish, it's something tough to do. And I feel like a lot of people, take that for granted. Or they say, I'll just go back. I'll drop out to handle something or whatever I'm going through right now in life, or go get a job, and I'll go back and finish it. And in most cases in the NFL or in professional sports, is I'm making all this money, then why would I go back? I don't plan to work for anybody, but I just wanted to make sure that that was my initial goal, and I wanted to stick to it. And I had the opportunity to leave school early my junior year, but that promise was something that was very vital to me, and I wanted to stick to my word. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I got my degree and was still able to come play professional football and keep growing in life.
It was vital to you. What did it mean to your mom?
It meant the world to her, just to know that I was able to leave and go back on what we had promised, and just to turn everything down for the money or for the success and the fame. But I think the degree it meant so much more than the NFL in my eyes.
A degree in communications. You want this job one day?
Hopefully I can have it. Hopefully you'll give me your job. But this ain't a bad place to be. But
this is a great place to be, and I will vouch for you 100% when that day comes.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you for taking time.
Yeah. Appreciate you for having me, man.